Welcome to CES 2019 from the Sands Convention Center. We've got everything you need to know, must have, gotta have, want to know about. Well, this is a want to know about. We're in the ULE booth. That's ultra low energy. Apparently, I've got ultra low energy this morning. Not really. I've got ULE here. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I enjoy staying here in Las Vegas.
Well, hey, in Las Vegas enjoys having you. This is all about the spectrum that you have in your house, or that's in the air rather, that you use for smart homes and smart technology. And so the frequency that you guys are on is 1.9 gigahertz in the US, 1.8 around the rest of the world.
Yeah.
This is something that cordless phones were on years ago, and it gives you a lot longer range than, say, Wi-Fi, which is either 2.4 or 5.8.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We are using in the US market 1.9 gigahertz, and in Europe, in some parts of Asia, 1.8 gigahertz. And you also mentioned we are based on the technology of the traditional home telephones, home cordless telephones, DEC telephones, and we can even use the existing chipsets which are used for voice for our smart home devices.
What about privacy? Is privacy an issue on 1.9 or 1.8?
It is not an issue because due to the standard and due to the development and also due to the certification process, we have a very high security in our network. And one of the beauties of the system is that we do not have to share it with other technologies using our frequency band, because this frequency band is dedicated to our service, means DECT cordless and DECT ULE smart home.
What about interference? 2.4 gigahertz is severely susceptible to interference. 5 gigahertz, not so much. What about 1.9?
1.9, actually, there's nobody else than our technology using this kind of frequency band, because it's from government dedicated to voice service based on DECT.
And where would I find products that use the ULE standard? I know that you've got 140 companies that are already using it.
Yeah, as you may also know, or you mentioned in the beginning, the ULE Alliance is now 5 years old, and the first 2 years we spent almost only on technology, setting the standard, setting specifications, very robust specifications, in order to have a chance to generate compatible and interoperable products. And another advantage of our technology, which we are providing compared to many others, we have not only one single chipset vendor, but three. So we have Dialog in Europe, we have DSP Group in Israel, and we have Intel, which are developing DEC chips.
Now, I noticed you've got T-Mobile that is a partner of yours. You also, one of the companies is VTech. And what's also interesting is that it works with Alexa.
Yeah, that is something which is, of course, our history, because the history of ULE is DECT, and DECT is one of DECT core functionality is voice. And DECT's core functionality, by saying that voice, we are also transporting voice in a very high quality. So we are doing HD voice transport from one device to the other, even into the mobile network.
Great. Let's just look at this coverage map here. You showed me before. Basically, this is your standard 2.4 gigahertz with Zigbee and Z-Wave, and then you've got 1.9 gigahertz, and this is the coverage map just from one single unit. Now, here you can use a mesh network. Here you're going to traditionally use a single unit, I would imagine.
We have with our solution, we are providing star topology. So that means with one gateway you can cover almost the whole house, where in other technologies you need mesh network. That means also you have to add on additional hardware. In case you are running out of range with our technology, it's very easy to use range extenders, which you can integrate into the system. So that means you can almost fulfill the service over a complete campus.
How do people find out about ULE if they're building products or for the smart home, or they want to buy products that are ULE?
Of course, they can go into our webpage. We are listing all our members there. And on the other hand, there are already products, commercial products on the market existing. I forgot one to mention. For example, we have devices from Deutsche Telekom in Germany. You can use the Deutsche Telekom smoke sensor and you can integrate it to another device from another vendor. So it's a cross-interoperable across platforms as well as across different manufacturers.
How does one do this? How did you guys come up with the idea of buying the spectrum for 1.8, 1.9, and then work to integrate it?
Actually, if we would have to buy spectrum today, this little alliance wouldn't be capable to do so. The spectrum was dedicated in the beginning of the early 90s, and it was just dedicated to cordless voice telephony, and it's from the government. It's nothing where we have to bid for, as you have, for example, on cellular frequencies.
Okay, got it. And it's just being repurposed. Now, ULE stands for ultra low energy. Does that mean that I get either less draw on my electric bill or longer battery life from the products I'm using that are connected?
Of course, the advantage of ULE is, especially if you're using smart devices which are battery operated. For example, a motion detector they can run with one battery for 2 or 3 years, depending on how busy he is.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.